Hello, and welcome to American Family Insurance DreamBank, where we believe in the transformative power of dreams. I'm Monica, a dream curator here at DreamBank. If you visited us or tuned in virtually before, welcome back. And for those that are joining us for the first time, please allow me to introduce you to DreamBank. DreamBank is an inspirational community destination and digital experience dedicated to dreamers everywhere and created by American Family Insurance. This dedication is to the pursuit of dreams because we believe communities are stronger and the future is brighter when people are actively pursuing their dreams. From our daily event series to our immersive signature programs, there's something for absolutely every dreamer. Everything that we do is designed to help you celebrate the dream journey, overcome obstacles, and stay motivated. This is the Impact for Good series, and today we're visited by Prenecia Clifton, founder of Seein Believin. Seein Believin is a multicultural infusion of excellence into the traditional K through 12 STEM curriculum. Prenecia is native of Kansas City, Missouri, and a graduate of the University of Wisconsin-Madison. She has nearly 2 decades of pre-college and youth programming experience. She's a certified Presidium Youth Protection Guardian and a certified youth mental health first aid trainer. Prenecia is also an accomplished artist. She's an opera singer with credits in major opera houses around the world. Today, she's here leading us into the perfect way to set renewed intentions into our dreams, while also committing to an action plan to help us make our dreams a reality. Please join me in welcoming Prenecia Clifton. Hi, Prenecia.
Hello, all. Thank you so much for having me here today. It's good to see you, Monica.
Thank you.
Okay, let's see here. So let's talk about the power of dreaming. And let's start off with who I am. So, as Monica said before, not only am I the founder of Seein is Believin, but I'm also a classically trained opera singer. I am an auntie. I am an active member of my community. I am a community activist as far as advocating for Black lives and Black education. And I'm also a lifelong dreamer. Investing in a dream. So when I was younger, I told my mom that I wanted to sing like Whitney Houston. And we didn't have a lot of money growing up, but my mom wanted us to participate in at least something. So my brothers all did sports. And I was like, I want to be a singer. I want to sing like Whitney Houston. And my mom's like, well, voice lessons are expensive. But she was like, there's a new art studio that just opened up. Let's see if we could afford maybe one voice lesson a month. Because my mom herself was a basket weaver. She was a dreamer. She wanted to be an interior decorator. But her mother insisted that she go into computers and computer science because there was more job security in that. So she made a decision with her children early on that if they wanted to color outside the box, she was going to support it. So she took me to my first voice lesson, and I was about 9 years old. And I told the teacher, I said, hey, I want to sing like Whitney Houston. Can you help me sound like Whitney Houston? And she said, well, sure. Let me hear you sing. So I sang a couple lines and I was like, I believe in you. And she was like, well, you may not sing like Whitney Houston, but if you stick with me, you'll dine with kings and queens. Now, of course, it was like a metaphor of like, performing in the most amazing places in the world, but that stuck with me. I had went from this stream of singing like Whitney Houston to all of a sudden becoming essentially a regal princess singing on stages around the world. So I went back and told my mom about all that she had said, and she said, Prenecia, I have to remind you that, we don't have a lot of money. So we won't be able to afford, like I said, more than one lesson a week. So we go back in and we're like, thanks for the encouragement and the motivation. But we're only able to afford maybe one voice lesson a month, and we just wanted to get the experience with it. My teacher, Millicent Doherty, then replied to my mom and said, no, your daughter has an incredible talent. I'm willing to invest in her. And so from the ages of 9 to 18, my voice teacher sponsored the majority of my voice lessons. And that was my first time experiencing at 9 years old, somebody investing in a dream. So, like she said, I didn't go on to sing like Whitney Houston, but I did go on to take on the world as an opera singer. Voi lo sapete, which is one of my favorite arias to perform. And I went on to sing for 10 years. I did Mandarin opera mostly, and I did traditional opera. But one day I woke up and I was singing at the Lyric Opera of Chicago, and I was standing on stage, and I felt a sudden pain in my back. And the pain radiated so quickly, and it was so painful. It radiated down into my leg, and I had to be rushed to the emergency room. I couldn't sit up. It was hard for me to breathe. I couldn't turn. And the doctors ran several tests on me, but they couldn't figure out what was wrong. Well, I had to sit out of the opera. I couldn't finish the production. There was 3 shows that I missed because I just couldn't move. I couldn't get out of bed. They had managed to, take care of the pain, but there was something that was still going on with my body. Eventually, I was diagnosed, and it was basically I have some degenerative disc issues, along with some diffuse idiopathic skeletal hypertosis. And so at 27, almost 30 years old, I knew that I would no longer be dancing on stage. And at that point, I realized that my dream had been crushed. And I had 2 options. I could die with the dream, meaning just to retreat into myself, or I could create a new dream. And so I made a conscious decision that life gave me a lemon and I was just going to turn it into lemonade. The birth of Seein is Believin. So I began to think back on when I was singing and what inspired me as a youth. And my first thought was Whitney Houston. I wanted to sing because I saw Whitney Houston singing. And as I was singing and studying classical music, my voice teacher began to realize that she couldn't be that representation that I needed to encourage me to go to the next level as an opera singer. And so at 11, 12 years old, she sent me to see Jesse Norman in concert, second row, center. Like, I could tell that these tickets were extremely expensive, but she thought it was important for me to see myself in opera. And those things resonated with me as I continued on with my professional career. But another thing that I saw was my dad was a teacher, and my dad was the only Black teacher that I had. He was the only Black teacher in our school. And then he went on to teach in a boys' home. And the reason they recruited him at the boys' home is because so many of the youth that were in the boys' home knew that if my dad went in, they knew if my dad when so to do something positive with their lives. So my dad passed in 2011. And when he passed, several of his former students came to his funeral and said if it was not for my dad, they would have been dead or incarcerated. And so I went on to think, what would it be to carry on his legacy? And what would it be to take my representation in the arts and carry on that legacy? And with that, it created a new dream for me, a new dream of changing the lives of youth. And that's when I started bringing Black artists, Black performers, and myself and telling our story to Black and Brown youth in the community. And that's how Seein Believin came about. I began to think about all of the things, especially during the pandemic, that pose challenges to youth. And I said, you know, what are ways that I can create altruism? What are ways that I can create help for youth? What are ways that I can show folks that even though what happened tomorrow or whatever happened yesterday does not have to be our tomorrow? And I also wanted to be a role model for adults to let them know that their dreams did not have to be monolithic and that it's okay for our dreams and our careers to change. And we could be completely happy with things changing in our lives. Imagine spending 20 years of your life studying for one specific career and then just like that, having it snatched from you due to an illness. I mean, it was really hard to get back up on my feet and to think about what life could mean after music. Now, I still sing from time to time today, but I can't tour. I can't, you know, dance all day and things like that. But I do have the ability to teach others how to sing, to teach youth how to sing, to bring concerts and awareness to the needs of youth in my community. Because I think the biggest thing that music taught me was that my voice mattered. No matter how my voice was put out there, it mattered. And my voice, I hope, encourages you to know that your dreams matter. So we put all sorts of activities in the parks for youth to help them to dream. And we talked about what it was to coloring outside the lines and thinking about our dreams. We talked about the history of Black people in the outdoors and how important it was for us to be one with nature, to reconnect with nature in our mental health journey. And this was all during the pandemic. And then also when we talk about stereotypes and things like that, helping the youth to break down stereotypes through different workshops like what you see in me. And my favorite one was taking the song Black Like Me by Mickey Guyton and letting the youth interpret those lyrics. I also did a workshop on loving yourself enough to dream bigger on Valentine's Day. And when I talk about dream bigger, it means that I want you to dream more than just passing your class, right, in high school. I said, what would it be to not only pass it, but then one day it becomes your career because you're so good at it? Or what does it mean to think past of, I made a great meal to, oh my goodness, I could be a chef. But like the title of this workshop says, we have to love ourselves enough to dream better or bigger. And we have to love ourselves enough to recognize that every dream won't go as planned, but it still will go the way it needs to be, which leads us into resilience. Resilience is also a key factor in the pursuit of dreams. When I was auditioning and trying to get in all these different shows, I remember a voice teacher telling me, Prenecia, no's are part of the game, but use each no as a step to your next yes. And so I would go in, I would do my auditions, I would be told, oh, your voice is too big for this role. Or I even had the worst thing happen to me in New York, where a vocal a director actually said, why is such a pretty voice wasted on such a fat body? So he, of course, was fat shaming and shaming my body, and it almost just devastated me and derailed me. And then I realized, nope, that's just one of my no's that I'm working towards a yes. 5 years later, that same director came and tried to get me to do one of his shows. I absolutely said no. but it felt so good to see that justification come full circle. Also, a lot of times when we're working on a dream and somebody tells us no, often that no is not even about us. The no could simply be no, not right now, or no, because we don't have the funding, or no, because we have something else we want to do right now, but come back and ask again later. So don't take your no's to mean to give up on your dream. I read a book and it was called Culture in 3D. And I think about the culture in 3D as we talk about dreams. So it's can't because you don't have the resources, don't because you don't have the know-how or knowledge, or won't because you simply don't believe in the mission. Where are you with your dream? Is it can't because you simply need resources? If so, do the research, find the resources. Is it don't because you don't have the knowledge and know-how? Take a course, right? There are plenty of free courses online. I think almost everything you could want to do in life, you could probably research and learn how to do on YouTube. There's also free community resources that are available, but it's on you to invest in your dream, because then at the end we get to the won't. You won't believe in your mission of being able to achieve your dream. We can work with can't and don't, but if you won't believe in your ability to achieve your dream, no one else can do that for you. So I want you to think about this culture of accountability as far as you dreaming your dreams. So some of the things we did after surveying youth about what they wanted to do and what they needed to make their dreams come true, I had you say, you know what, I think it would be really cool to be a chef. And so I created this life readiness cooking class, and it was taught virtually during the pandemic. And basically what happened was we would ship food to the kids from a local food dispensary, and then we would get them all on Zoom and give them step-by-step instructions on how to cook the things that were in their food box. But we took it one step further. Like I said, we recognized that representation mattered in our dream. So we were very intentional with putting Black and brown chefs in front of these students. Now, representation is twofold. One, it's showing students of color that they can achieve A, B, or C, but then at the same time, it helps students that aren't of color to look around the room, and if everybody that's in the room only looks like them, then they can see something and say something. So the next time somebody comes by and say, well, we couldn't find any Black chefs, or we couldn't find any Black opera singers, they're like, that's not true. I had a Black chef teach me when I was a kid, or I saw a Black opera singer on stage. So representation is important in your dream because it helps you to achieve your dream. Representation is important in your children's dreams because it shows them that it's no longer impossible, because that person standing right there in front of them is the possible in their dream. Also, it's important that you write your dreams out. It's important that you envision where you want to be in life. And so I do a look to the future vision workshop with youth, but I would encourage you to stop by DreamBank and get one of the dream journals, right? Where do you want to be 2 days from now? Where do you want your dream to be 2 weeks from now? Where do you want your dream to be 2 months and 2 years from now, right? But if you don't write it down, you don't always get that sense of accountability in the process, right? And also, as you're doing your dream, it's important to look around and see who can support you in your dream. Is there a family member that you can bounce your ideas off of, or a friend that you trust that you can bounce your ideas off of, that you know they won't steal their ideas and make them your own, right? Is there someone that you can go to, like if you want to get more training? Is there someone in your community that has information on what courses and classes you can take? So part of mapping out your dream is also mapping out the resources that can support you. Also, it's being honest about the negative talk that might be around you. Who are those naysayers and what are the naysaying things that they would say? And then on the other side of that same sheet, what are the things that you can say to yourself to combat the negative talk on your dreams? Because only you can protect your dreams. Also, we have to get over people telling us what we can and can't do based on our body types, based on the color of our skin, based on our socioeconomic status. And one of the workshops that I've done with youth is Black Girls Don't. I'm telling you, I can't tell you the number of times that people have tried to take my dream of being a singer away by simply saying Black people don't sing opera, right? Black people don't do this. Do not let stereotypes define what your dream can be. If that's something that you're passionate about, that's your dream. And only you can define what you can and can't do. So, the other thing I want to talk about is how mental health affects our ability to dream. 1 out of 6 youth during the pandemic was experiencing a mental health crisis. And I'm sure it was quite the same for adults. The anxiety of what's happening next, right? Are we ever going to get out of this pandemic? Am I going to sick? Is somebody around me going to get sick, right? Well, that same anxiety of what if, what next, what now plays into the effect of our dreams. Anxiety and depression are natural parts of our lives. And oftentimes, I tell people that a failure to plan is a plan to fail. So I'm going to plan for my anxiety. I'm going to plan for where I have areas of doubt. If my doubt comes from not having enough funding, guess what? I'm going to save up my pennies and I'm going to wait to start my project until I have enough money to feel confident in the work. If my anxiety comes from my own self doubt, I'm going to study and study until I feel good enough to believe in myself in the work. I know there have been many times on stage where I'm like, I don't know if I should be doing this role and figure it out. But when I put in the extra time to practice, it reassured me that what I thought I couldn't do, I could do. Also, it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to say, hey, I have this big idea, but sometimes I get too nervous to believe in myself. Find that friend, find that family member. I always say, find your hype person, right? My dad, before he passed, was my biggest hype person. Even if I sang the wrong note, even if I made a total flop, he would always say, but you were the only one that got up there. You were the only one that wasn't afraid. He said that was half the battle right there, and that you did what everybody else couldn't. Did you know that stage fright is like the number one fear? Like most people are afraid of getting in front of people. And at 9, 10 years old, I combated that. And so to have my dad say, nope, you've already won half the battle simply by getting out there on stage and doing what you needed to do. So let's get back to the original topic of providing space for dreams and making a space for dreams. Oftentimes, our mental health clouds over our dreams. The world has beat us up and told us everything that we are not. And in order to grow and to achieve our dreams, we have to put the work in to remind ourselves of everything we are. And we have to stop the negative talk of saying, well, I don't know how to do this, or I'm not that, and rephrase it to, I don't know how to do this yet, but I'm going to learn. Or I'm not good at it yet, but I will be. Or I'm a little nervous, but I can work through it, right? And so the words that we tell ourselves not only affect our mental health, but they also affect our ability to achieve our dreams. The only person that can interrupt your dream is you. Now, your dream might change, and the way the dream looks on the other side of its creation may change, but at the end of the day, it will come to fruition. And I say that because I'm talking about music, right? I had this dream of being on stage and just doing it for the rest of my life. And unfortunately, my disability took that away from me. But my dream shifted into I want as many youth as I possibly can to be able to carry on my legacy on that stage. So, what does it mean to pass on your dream? What does it mean to support somebody else that has the same dream and turn those lemons into lemonade? And that's what dreaming means to me. It means dream as big as you possibly can. And even in spite of everything that the world throws at you, you continue to dream bigger. And dreaming bigger often means sharing your dream with someone else. All right, so tools that you can put in your toolkit. Write your dreams down. Hold on, let me stop sharing here. Dreams that you can put in your toolkit or tools that you can put in your toolkit. Every morning when you wake up, you say your dream out loud. Saying your dream out loud reaffirms it to your psyche that this is your dream and it will come true. Next, do something every single day that works towards your dream. So if you say you want to be a chef, guess what? You are looking at a recipe, or you are watching a cooking class, or you are watching something, like one of the cooking channels, right? But every day you are investing in your dream. The other thing to do as you're building your dream path is find your tribe. Oftentimes we go and we talk to people about our dreams, and guess what? They don't have the same ability to dream as big as we do. So, what happens when you talk to someone who doesn't have the ability to dream as big as you do? They have the power to then shrink your dream. So, surround yourself with people that have that same desire to dream and have that same ability to lift you up as you dream. So, take a couple seconds right now. Who are the people in your life that believe in your dream? Take a couple seconds and write down at least 3 people in your life that believe in your dream. Now, write down 2 resources that are available to you right now to help you achieve your dream. And then write down the one thing that you will do tomorrow to work towards achieving your dream. So that's that 3-2-1 method, right? So let's talk about culture of achievability. So we talked about how can't, don't, won't affects our dream, but can't, don't, won't can also affect our ability to achieve. So we go back to that can't without resources. So not having the resources to not necessarily fund your dream, but actually to create your dream. I want you to think about 3 resources that are available at your fingertips that will take that can't and turn that into can. So when I think about resources in my community right now, I think of places like the Foundation for Black Women's Wellness, right? They have business grant opportunities, they have classes, right? So if I wanted to work on my health, I wanted to start a business, that would be a local organization that I might explore. If I'm like, ooh, I need more kind of like knowledge and information. I need more know-how. Okay, there's YouTube, that's a free resource. There's like local community colleges that have courses at a more affordable price. And then, do you have a peer or a friend that's kind of doing something similar to the dream that you have? And can you tap into them and pick their brains, right? What resources have you used? And I tell you what, some of the best dreamers I know are kids, right? Tell your kids, I have a dream of doing A, B, or C. And guess what? They're going to be the first ones to be like, yeah, mommy, you can do it. You can do it. Hey, mommy, did you achieve your goal today? Hey, mommy, did you do this? Because they're at that age of innocence where anything is possible. So you want to make sure that you include them in your culture of achievability. And also, it gives you an inspiration to work towards. Because guess what? Representation matters. So if your youth sees you achieving your dreams, guess what? It's going to encourage them to achieve their dreams. And you all are going to be successful together. Now, let's talk about don't, meaning the know-how, the knowledge, the training. It is not enough to read one article on cooking, just like it was not enough for me to take just one voice lesson to get to where I need to be. Know-how not only comes from knowledge and research, but know-how comes from practice. Know-how comes from research. Know-how comes from taking those who came before you and did all the things that you wanted to do and learning from not only their achievements, but mistakes. So people oftentimes tell me, oh, my voice is really tired. I'm done practicing for the day. And I'm like, you're done practicing for the day, but you're not done researching for the day. Who is one singer that inspires you, that does the technique that you would like to imitate one day, right? There is more to it than just you warming up and singing every day. There's more to it than you just cooking one dish every day. The know-how comes not only with practice, but it comes also with research. And then also in that culture of achievability, won't believe in yourself. If every time I failed and every time I got a no in an audition, I just completely gave up and stopped singing, guess what? I would not have been able to do what I did in the short amount of time that I did. Every time I got a no, I was devastated, of course. But every time I got a no, I also knew a yes was coming. So anticipate your yes versus taking that won't and using it not to believe in yourself. I think that dreams are the fuel to our future. And I think that part of us dies when our dream dies, or part of us dies when we fail to dream. A dream every day is about our possibilities, life's possibilities. It makes it so we're not stagnant, right? Where you get up every day, you do the same thing every day, and it becomes monotonous and just, it is what it is. But if we put that dream behind that monotonous day, we have something to look forward to after a long day of work. We have something to look forward to after, tending to our homes and tending to our families. What is that next chapter? Your kids will grow up, right? And leave the house. And what you'll be left with are the memories, the wonderful memories of your children, but also your dreams and what you will do with them. So it's important that we dream out loud. It's important that we hold on to our dreams. It's important that we water and invest in our dreams. And it's important that we find our tribe that can support us when we get discouraged and don't believe in ourselves enough. So I'm Prenecia Clifton, and I am dreaming out loud. And I'll open it back up to you, Monica.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Prenecia. Every time you show up here, you drop all these good nuggets and gems for us. And I absolutely love it. I appreciate it. I appreciate every bit of it. I appreciate your time today and just you being part of what we offer here at DreamBank. So thank you. Thank you so much for showing up and just being here for our community of dreamers today. You know, so I was going to ask you at the end of this, what is one piece of advice you would offer to someone who's trying to pursue a dream today? And you've already dropped all those nuggets. I don't need to ask that now.
But I do have one piece of advice. Just do it.
just do it.
Just do it at the end of the day.
Just do it. You know, I was talking with some kids the other day and they used this word giving. Giving. It's just not giving. It's just not giving. And I said, hey, let's forget about what it's giving. Just go take it. What is it not giving? It's not giving anything that you can take and get for yourself. So thank you. Thank you so much for that. I greatly appreciate it. I appreciate you. And thank you for being here with us.
And I was going to say that it's going to give what you give, right? It's going to give what you put in. Our dreams aren't just going to come true because we say we want them to come true. They're going to come true because of the work we put into it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's not giving usually means you're not giving.
Yep. Hey, I like that. I like that. I'm going to take that to these kiddos when I see them tomorrow, actually. So thank you for that. I really appreciate that. You know, here at DreamBank, we really do believe in a transformative power of dreams. And we appreciate that our community is made up of so many different faces and dreamers, people that are pursuing different things in their lives all the time. Um,
And I have one more thing.
uh-huh.
If you have a youth between the age of 16 that's looking to dream, sign them up for our life readiness programs. They're free. So we'd love to
Yeah,
dream with your youth.
life readiness in the parks. That's one of Seein Believin summer programs, correct?
Absolutely. And so we'll do the training in the libraries and we'll have a workshop where every youth will walk away with a customized life ready plan that they create themselves. So they'll be able to dream out loud and write the steps to achieve their dreams. Because one of the things we have to recognize is that our approach to achieving our dreams is not monolithic. So, you know, every youth may not be ready to go to college at 18, but
Mm-hmm.
there are other ways to get there. And we just have to help them map out a plan. So
Mm-hmm.
life readiness, come to seeinisbelievin.com, find all out about our program. If the youth is in Madison, they're actually eligible for an internship where the city actually pays them to get ready for life. So there's so many opportunities out here for our youth to just dream.
Oh, that's awesome. Give our community of dreamers, everyone who's watching today, what are the dates? What is the last date of your life readiness in the park?
So our first one is going to be at Lakeview Library, and it's going to be on July 6th. And it's every Wednesday night starting July 6th from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Then we will have two huge celebrations in the park on Saturday on the 17th and the 24th. So what the youth will do is they'll come out and present their dreams, and we'll have a big party celebrating their commitment to their dreams in the park.
And DreamBank is committed to helping and supporting you in that mission. And I appreciate you coming to us and asking for what you needed for that, because that's what we're here for. And thank you. We appreciate that. Thank you, everyone
You
out
all
there
have been
for
amazing sponsors. Thank you, everybody, for coming in and supporting the youth in our community. We are going to change the world one youth at a time.
most definitely, and one dream at a time. Most definitely. We appreciate it. And thank you, everyone out there, for watching, everyone who has tuned in and been able to join us today. Thank you for your time. Continue to dream fearlessly. We look forward to hosting you again, and we'll see you all soon. Bye, Prenecia. Bye, everyone.